Thank you, Reena ma'am. Moving on to our next session, we now invite Ms. Kumud Wadhwa, Senior General Manager, National Smart Grid Mission, to present the opportunities for IoT, M2M, and utilities in power sector. Ms. Kumud Wadhwa has more than 30 years of cross-domain experience in power sector, spanning across project planning and management for transmission projects, IT projects, and smart grid projects in distribution. She is currently working as manager in project management unit at National Smart Grid Mission, supporting the Ministry of Power for design and development of smart grid and capacity building initiatives for smart grid. Ma'am, the floor is yours. Request Sonia to bring up Ms. Wadhwa's slide deck, please.
Good afternoon, everybody.
There you. Yeah.
First of all, I would like to thank Reena ma'am from DOT and Bindu Shivasto from TSG side for giving me this opportunity to share my thoughts on how IoT M2M can support smart grids. So as told by Shifali, I am working in National Smart Grid Mission. Next slide, please. Yeah. So this National Smart Grid Mission was established in 2015 to promote development of smarter grids by amalgamation of ICT technologies onto the electrical grid. So it is chaired by Minister of Power, and there is a governing council at the apex level, which is supported by a power committee for decision making, chaired by Secretary Power. And we are all working in National Smart Grid Management Project Management Unit, which is in turn supporting this whole mission. We are also collaborating with the TEC for technical reports on IoT ICT standards, and also for contributing for draft document on IoT and 5G applications in smart grid. We have also prepared some other documents for bidding for the AMI solutions. So when we talk about smart grid, next slide please. Maybe we all know that smart grid is about optimizing energy efficiency by facilitating flow of energy and information in both ways between the power supplier and the consumer in real time by implementing information and communication technology onto the power network. Smart grid connects the complete power sector value chain from generation to transmission to distribution to consumption to markets and consumers. So if we see generation and transmission had already adopted ICT technologies way back. Maybe for transmission, we have our own optical fiber network, which is connecting even advanced sensors like phasor measurement units for grid state estimation and managing the grid stability. Similarly, for generation, we also have control centers, which are again IT solutions for managing the generation in an optimal manner. It was the distribution sector which was the pain area. So the focus of National Smart Grid Mission is to transform the distribution sector by promoting ICT technologies in distribution. Also, we are to empower the consumer and enable participation of consumer in the grid management. So if we see, next slide please. One of the important components of smart grids in distribution is advanced metering infrastructure, by which we will be connecting millions of nodes and points, which are consumer meters, into the network for exchanging the information in both directions. Also, consumers are deploying solar rooftop on their houses, which will be again generating power that may be fed back into the grid. So this IoT M2M supported by solutions like advanced metering infrastructure can maybe help in development of Internet of Energy in near future. And it will not be limited to meter itself, because consumers are also to participate in maybe grid management in the coming time. So the devices also can communicate and participate based on the signals, price signals that will be given by the utility to the end consumers for grid management. So the smart metering infrastructure, we know that there is a smart meter which is having an internal connect-disconnect switch as well as two-way communication for besides the measurement for power, voltage, and other parameters. Then the smart meter has a communication chip, and this communication chip can be for home area network, wherein it communicates between buildings interior and smart meter. It can be field area network, wherein the smart meters communicate by forming a mesh or maybe by direct through GPRS to the control center. So this will fall into field area network or wide area network. Then there are software solutions and head-end system and MDMS for taking the decisions based on analytics that are there on those servers. Next slide, please. So this is the broad architecture of AMI. We have meters at the consumer premises, and there are smart devices, smart air conditioners, smart refrigerators, and smart washing machines, which can be programmed, which can be scheduled for, and even electric vehicle charging is also now becoming smart. So people will have EV chargers also at their premises, and all these things are to be managed in such a way that the current peak load is managed within whatever is available. I'll explain further in the coming slides how peak load management can be supported by this AMI. So these consumer meters will be sending data to data concentrator, and then through some high bandwidth communication link between the concentrator and the utility, it is going to the data center for managing the systems and taking the actions for billing, outage management, and peak load management, etc. Next slide, please. If we see the communication link, presently we have the deployments which are having this GPRS connectivity from the meter to the control center. We also have done a pilot which is based on power line carrier communication from meter to data concentrator, and maybe from there it can be either on GPRS or even on optical fiber cables. In some cases, like Tata Power has this optical fiber from the transformers to their control center, so they use that kind of technology for communication. And in fact, when we are saying that we have extended this optical fiber connection to all the village panchayats under this NOFN scheme, so can we somehow say manage this communication infrastructure in an optimal manner so that the requirements of this smart grid or smart metering or demand response or peak load management are also taken care by connecting this somehow into the NOFN network? So that is one thing which I would like to suggest. And another deployment which is basically there for all the pilots is that meters are forming an RF mesh, which is based on IEEE 802.15.4 standard. And through that mesh, they are sending the data packets to the data concentrator units. So this is the current scenario for the communication, which is there for the AMI pilots deployment. Next slide, please. Next slide, please. So these are some of the pilots that were supported by Ministry of Power when India Smart Grid Task Force was there, and this was later on subsumed into National Smart Grid Mission. We had done pilots at Mysore for 21,000 plus consumers. Then all the details are also available in the slide and is available on the website. Based on the successful outcome of the pilots, which resulted into some benefits for the utilities, which are listed in the next slide, please. One major project was taken up by Indore in the Madhya Pradesh. So basically, they reaped huge benefits in terms of improved collection efficiency, billing efficiency improved, even average monthly revenue per consumer improved by 300 rupees. Then they could manage their demand projection or forecasting in a better manner, and around 1.09 crore was recovered against say penalty for maximum demand overshooting the sanction load. Power purchase cost was optimized because sanction load increased by 32.15 megawatt. Then there was PF penalty imposed. So all such benefits have been realized by some of the utilities, and this is the example from Indore deployment. And another important use case is peak load transfer or demand site management or demand response, as we say. If you see the next slide, next slide, please. We see that India has an installed capacity of around 400 gigawatts. And recently, we could also meet the peak demand of 207 gigawatts. But still, there are load sheddings which are there for many of the consumers in the country. So one of the important use case which is planned through this AMI deployment or smart grid is that we will not have load shedding in the consumers' premises where smart meters are deployed, but we can support demand curtailment or load curtailment for such consumers. In fact, when load shedding happens, so the solar rooftop that is deployed for those consumers, that is also stopping generation because the inverters, solar inverters at the residences will trip under zero voltage condition. So to continue receiving power from those rooftop solar plants, as well as to serve the consumers better, we can go for load curtailment in place of load shedding. So what is this demand response? Next slide, please. So consumers of electricity changing their level of consumption in the short term in response to some signals to do so. So that is demand response. And it will be required because generation mix is changing, grid is decentralizing, and demand profile is also changing. Next slide, please. For this, consumer awareness is also one important factor which will enable consumers to participate in such programs. And if we see how we can enable the consumers to participate in such programs, that can be categorized into a pyramid, wherein the baseline case will be at least we start sharing the energy consumption with the consumers, and it will be no price, no device behavioral approach, wherein just reports are shared and consumers can manage their consumption in a better manner. And once consumers start participating or start acting for optimizing their energy consumption or switching to the energy efficient devices, they can further be given some price signals in the form of time of use tariffs, so that they can those time of use tariffs can be reflecting the real time pricing for the utility or some crisis situation like peak load time. So we can have higher time of use tariffs during peak load and lower time of use tariffs when off peak is there. In fact, time of day tariff is already there for many consumers in Delhi, Haryana and other states, but consumers are not aware, and the behavior changing is not happening because awareness is not there. And also maybe the differential pricing for off peak and on peak is not that significant, which influences the consumer to shift their consumption. So how we now take care of that demand response or manage the power supply so that there is no load shedding? Next slide, please. One of the functions for smart meters, as was designed as part of Indian standard 16444, was that under the conditions of overcurrent and load control, which is programmable limit set by utility, which can be for peak load management, there will be some reconnection and connection mechanism, and reconnection can be decided by meter locally. So it is something similar. We have a switch in the meter, and the switch will trip the supply if the load during that time exceeds the limit, load control limit, which is programmable and set by the utility. Generally, it is set to the sanctioned load, but it can be programmed during peak load time to a lower limit, like we have for inverters, where we plan inverters for our households for around maybe 2-4 kilowatt for managing the critical load. So similarly, utilities can manage the peak loads by programming or by reducing the sanctioned load for peak load time to a lower load. In fact, in Haryana, we have already 5 lakh smart meters. And if only maybe 20-25% of those consumers switch off their ACs, one of their ACs, which will be resulting in 1 lakh consumers switching off one of their ACs, can result in 200 megawatt peak load saving. So this is the power, and that can be delivered through these smart meters. But for that, we need to have a very reliable communication from the head-end system to the utility. And if we see the experience of communication, next slide please. So far, the current communication between smart meter and head-end system on GPRS, which is basically deployed by ESL, it is around 90 to 92% for daily reads. And disconnection and reconnection, which is happening only in case of non-payment as of now, is also getting paid for 6 to 8% of meters. And in case the utility decides to go for demand curtailment in place of load shedding, so thus such reconnection and disconnection will be, the volume of such disconnection and reconnection will increase manifold. So the communication availability and reliability is also to be optimally managed for supporting that. For RF mesh, the communication between smart meter and DCU over RF mesh is currently good and is around 98% for daily and monthly reads. We don't have the data for the real-time or on-demand communication requirements. So we need to have a near optimal network communication for security, for metering, for SCADA, for protection, and in future for peer-to-peer trading when blockchain-based, say, energy exchange can happen from one rooftop to another rooftop or some distributed energy resources. Next slide, please. Also for current communication infrastructure, there is a major challenge for interoperability. The RF mesh is from a specific vendor based on a specific communication chip, only then it will be interoperable. If there is another communication chip vendor for another, say, some group of meters, so then those meters may not communicate. The condition for RF mesh to be interoperable between vendor A and vendor B as of now is to have the communication chip service provider as the same vendor. And there is no such interoperability if some group is on, because maybe for rural areas, we may go for power line carrier communication or GPRS communication, and for the same utility in city or urban areas, the communication is to RF mesh because density of the consumers will be higher in the cities vis-a-vis the density of consumers in the rural area. So if there are some such groups of consumers which are on different communication technology, how this system can be made interoperable, that is one of the challenge, that is major roadblock for large mass rollout of smart meters. Though India has already planned deployment of 25 crores of meters in near next 3-4 years, but all the utilities are looking for this interoperability challenge to be addressed so that it can be taken up at a faster pace. Next slide, please. So when we talk about interoperability, we see that in IT system, we already have this interoperability. If I am sending an email to, say, a recipient, so I may send it through my mobile device. I can, say, draft my email on my mobile, and it will reach the recipient's computer, which will be in a LAN environment, or maybe he will receive on the laptop, which is maybe connected to Wi-Fi. So the communication channel from the mobile device is GPRS, on the computer is the LAN, the company LAN, and on the laptop is Wi-Fi at the home. So this tunnel or communication services is not impacting the delivery of emails in any manner. So why this delivery of data packet from smart meters is getting impacted by the communication service provider tunnel? Can we not get the services in the transparent manner as we are getting in the IT system? This is just my humble submission. With this, I just close my talk, and I'll thank you again for patient hearing. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, ma'am. I now invite Mr. Maninder Mohor, a Rural Infrastructure Consultant, NPMU National Jal Jeevan Mission, to present the opportunities for IoT M2M utilities in water sector. Mr. Maninder Mohor is an alumnus of the Delhi College of Engineering with BE and ME in Environmental Engineering. Having around 80 years of experience in the field of public health engineering, he has worked on various water supply, sewage and sanitation, irrigation, pipe system, drainage projects in India and abroad. Sir, the floor is yours. Asif, request you to please give the presenter rights to Mr. Mohar.
Thank you very much.
Given the right, sir.
Thank you very much.
Share your screen.
Let me just share my screen. I hope my screen is visible to all. Can anyone please confirm?
Yes, sir.
All right. All right. Thank you very much. I am Manindra Mahar, Rural Infrastructure Consultant. I'm working for National Jal Jeevan Mission. I'm going to take you through the digital vision that we are taking up under the Jal Jeevan Mission for assured water supply. Before I get into it, I would like to give a brief of Jal Jeevan Mission, what is Jal Jeevan Mission and what is all about. What is special in the mission. This mission was introduced on 15th of August 2019 by Honorable Prime Minister with the intent to connect all the households in rural India. There are around 19 crore households at the moment, at present, in rural part of the India. So under this Jal Jeevan mission, we are going to connect all the uh, households with pipe water supply and to supply water on regular basis with sufficient quantity and quality. So with this intent, one of the important mandate of this mission was to assure the water supply. And with this, we tried to involve the community and the local water utilities that we called Pani Samitis at the ground, at the village levels, to act like a public water utilities, so that they can, find out the local solutions whenever is required, instead of waiting for other, people from the major towns or the public health department people to intervene for the small solutions. So that was the intent. I would like to tell here that we are going to cover around 95 crore people under the Jal Jeevan mission in 3 years, and 3.6 lakhs crores is to be invested to create the infrastructure and to achieve the objective of the Jal Jeevan mission to ensure the water service delivery of regular basis of prescribed quality and at least 55 liter per capita per person of water supply to all the souls. As you know, there in all the 33 states and UTs, we have a limited staff, public health engineering staff. So it is not easy, because lots of work is required, infrastructure creation is required, data management is required. So digital intervention is utmost important. And with this thought, at the time of conceiving this mission, this was kept in mind that we are going to take, digital initiatives to operate and monitor, implement at various stages of the mission. We are going to use this platform and take maximum use of it in order to implement in an effective manner. So as I said, that at the planning, we are trying to, with the help of this digital transformation, we at the planning stage, we tried to create the required infrastructure by detailing the existing infrastructure details, and to use the judiciously use the public money, and kept in mind that no one is left behind, and all the houses who are not connected, that we are going to connect. I am happy to inform you here that when we started this mission, only 3.23 crores of households out of 19.30 crores households were connected. But in the last 2 years, we have connected around 6.3 crores households more. And now we have reached a figure of 9.3 crores households out of 19 crore households. So almost 50% of the households are connected with pipe water supply, and they're getting water at regular base at regular interval with prescribed quality and adequate quantity for the domestic use. In under implementation, we are trying to use our Jal Jeevan dashboard, which is again a digital initiative that took under the Jal Jeevan mission, which I'm going to explain in the next slide. We have involved our sector partners also in the implementation, and this digital platform is also providing us, to monitor the implementation, to not only the civil works but also to monitor the expenditure of the funds allocated to the various states, and under which they are booking the funds. Also, we are also monitoring the services where we have already connected all the households in a particular village or in a gram panchayat. So to monitor the operation maintenance, we are using this digital platforms, which we are also doing in the operation maintenance. As I said, that our intent was to create a water utility at the ground level, at the village level. We call it Pani Samiti. So we have connected these, Pani Samitis with our digital platforms also, which I am going to explain in few, in my few slides. See, so this is actually the outcomes that we are getting from the digital initiatives taken up under the Jal Jeevan missions. It is helping us in designing the cost-effective schemes by detailing the existing infrastructure, which we have already entered in our database by using the various the platforms available at the ground staffs and the Pani Samiti. We are continuously monitoring the progress using the dashboards and the various other means, for the works and the fund utilizations. Also, it is also improving the transparency, and it is also helping us in developing the local water utilities, which is one of the motive of the Jal Jeevan mission. So it is also helping us, integration of various aspects. Now, I'll come to the digital initiatives that we have taken up. These are some of the platforms which we are already in, we are using it, or we are going to use it further. But one thing I have to say, all these platforms are interlinked, and if it is not, then it is going to be interlinked in the future. We are working on it, and very soon, all the platforms which I'm going to explain one by one, we are going to link at a single point. See, one of the digital platform that we have is Jal Jeevan Mission Integrated Management Information System. As we are working on such a huge project in which we are creating a very huge infrastructure. Lots of peoples are involved. Operation maintenance staffs are involved. Pani Samiti staffs is also involved. So there are lots of data related to the the staffs, the management, concerned authorities, construction schematic planning, constructions progress, expenditures. So we have created a database which I'm going to explain you in the slides later, like how we are doing it. The dashboard from the data in the IMIS, we are getting feeds at the dashboard, and we are analyzing the data available at the IMIS, and in the meaningful report we are projecting on the dashboard. WQMIS is one of the platform under the Jal Jeevan mission, in which we are concerned about the quality of water that we are supplying. As one of the mandate in the Jal Jeevan mission was to monitor the quality, also to supply the quality water. So this portal is helping us in having a control on the quality by providing information regarding the nearest water quality lab. People can identify on the portal, and they can go there and submit their samples and get it tested whether the quality of water there which is being supplied to the consumers is fit to drink or not, is potable or not, that they can find out. And it gives a transparent and develop trust between the the ultimate user, that's public, and the supplying agency, means water utilities, you can say, the Pani Samitis and public health department. IoT platform, as I said, that wherever we have achieved the Har Ghar Jal status, that means 100% households are connected with the pipe water supply. We are doing a real-time monitoring that I'm going to explain based on the IoT platforms. We have the sensors installed at the strategic location, and we are getting data regarding the quality, quantity, and the regularity. And we are monitoring on regular basis. And wherever discrepancies are there, we are getting alerts on it, and we are taking actions immediately to resolve and maintain the regularity part. I forgot to mention in under the WQMIS also we have alert management system. Wherever the quality is not good, we are getting we are getting alerts and the concerned authorities are taking immediately taking actions to rectify to maintain the portable quality. The one of the now I come to the mobile app that is an important tool under the Jal Jeevan mission, because it is connecting the the ground staff, the public health department, J's and A's who are working on the ground with the Pani Samiti. So this app is actually giving a device, a platform to all those on the at the ground level to update the data regarding the created infrastructure, regarding the the financial collections, user charges and all, the progress of the work, and also the water related informations. Any grievances are there, they can upload it there, and the corrective actions are taken immediately. All these things, if you see, are meant in a way that we can maintain the quality, quantity, and regularity. From the dashboard, analyticals, WQMS platforms, all these things will come to a common place, which I was saying, the analytical tool, in which we are going to analyze and create the meaningful reports and send to the concerned authorities to take the actions and to ensure the service delivery, as I said. One of the platform that we are using is the PFMS, which is not new to anyone, I believe, but this gives a very a clear like a real-time tracking of disbursement of the fund from the central level to the state, and the utilization, the transparent utilization of the fund by the state, and for the various projects. It provides a clear-cut picture of those financial statements. And the eighth platform that we are using is the JJM website and the Rashtriya Jal Jeevan Mission coach, in which we have initiated a platform where like agencies or an individual can donate the money to provide the fund for implementation of these schemes. So these are some of the platforms that we are using under the Jal Jeevan Mission. These, as I said initially, that these all 8 platforms are interlinked. This is just a snapshot or a gist of it, like how these things are working. Like as IoT platform where the Har Ghar Jal is there, and it is sending the data to to the centralized platform where which is linked to the mobile app. And similarly, the IoT WQMIS quality related data will come to the analytical engine. From the IMIS also, the data is going to the analytical engine. These things will either come through the IoT systems or through the various other mode of communications, but it will come to the common point analytical engine, and we will get the meaningful reports for the management, overall management at the various level. Maybe it may be the central level, national level, state level, or district level officials. They can get their their concern related reports, and they can take the corrective actions wherever is required. Now, as I said, that IMIS, lots of infrastructure is being created, lots of people, beneficiary details are there, wherever we have provided the connections, all these details are here, and this provides the input for our JJM dashboard. This is the snapshot of the dashboard. We are presenting how much work we have done so far, where we started, and like here, as you can see, this is the national dashboard, and when we started, around 19.23 crore households were there, and at the start only 2.3 crores were connected. But now this is the slightly older version. So now at the moment we have around 9.23 crores connected. and in the last 2 years we have provided more than 6.23 crores connections to the households. It also provides us information regarding like how many villages we have connected, in which we have connected all the households with the piped water supply schemes. These are some of the snapshots that are available on the dashboards. It also provides vital informations regarding the financial things, like how much fund is allocated to a particular village and how much they have utilized, how much state is sharing for the development of the infrastructure in that particular village. And we also get information regarding the beneficiaries, like who all, the name, even the name of the beneficiary who had got the connection, their details are also there. This is the WQMIS, as I explained earlier. The people can find out the nearest lab to them, and the people can collect their water sample and go to the lab and give it to them for the testing at the nominal charges. And they can also upload the results on the WQMIS portal. Like it is not necessary like they have to wait, like PhD people will come, and we have connected the local community to this portal so that they can do themselves if they are feeling that water quality is not good. We have also we are also providing FTKs, field testing kits, to the community, at every village level. We have identified around 5 women's who are going to do the tests in various part of the village, and to ensure that quality is good, portable, with this as per the standard norms in all the part of the villages. And it also provides some information regarding the NABL accreditations and recognition of labs. This is the different dashboard which ultimately are going to be integrated in one board at the later stage, but for the timing it is different. It provide information like how much samples we have received in the laboratories and how much tests has been done. If some contamination is there, those alerts are being raised, and how much remedial out of those. Like if you can see here, around contaminated samples are around 75,000, and only remedial action taken is around 2,000. So it gives a picture like how much how effective that the Pani Samitis are there, so we can take corrective actions to make them effective, to take the actions quickly to make water regular with quality and quantity. This is the mobile app that we have developed for the ground staff, for the Pani Samiti and field staff. They can provide this informations with the help of this app. They can use it on the mobile or the dashboard. There are around more than 6 lakhs villages where people are using this, and in each village more than 5 or 6 people are using this. So there are lots of people involved in providing the details of the infrastructure that is being created and the beneficiary details. Obviously it is approved by the concerned authorities once they provide the inputs. It also provide them a platform where they can register their grievances, like if the water is not coming or the quality issues are there, they can provide there. And then the input provided by the ground staff comes to the the state, the district levels officials, state officials, and even at the center level also, so that corrective actions can be taken timely. They are basically working on this sim based like networking model that we were talking about, IoT in some part. So these are some of the snapshots of the Jal Jeevan Mission mobile app. They are tagging the infrastructure, they are registering the grievances, they are also uploading the capacity building videos, because it is an important aspect to increase the capacities of the Pani Samitis. They are new into the business, so we are also encouraging and also sponsoring the capacity building programs for Pani Samiti people. These are some of the snapshots which we can do under the Jal Jeevan Mission. I've already explained this, so I'm skipping the slide. So this is one of the IoT platform that I was talking initially. Wherever we have achieved Har Ghar Jal, or at the with the time we are going to achieve almost everywhere in 6 lakhs villages, we are going to monitor the regularity, quantity, and the quality with the help of the IoT sensor-based IoT systems that we are going to install in the villages at the strategic locations. For this, we form a committee in 2020, and they produce this document which describe about the various data to be captured, which sensors are to be installed in the at the strategic location regarding the quality, quantity, and the regularity. It also describes about the minimum specifications those sensors should have, so that it should work and give us the output which can be used in a meaningful manner. And it also talks about the various technologies which is to be used for connecting these sensors with our server, like it may be through the LoRa, 2G, 3G, or whatever the communication module the agencies can provide. It also stipulates the roles and responsibilities of the various officials at the district and the state levels. It provides the APIs format, because ultimately these 6 lakhs villages are going to send the data from these IoT devices to the central level, and we want in a single format. So we have provided the standard data formats and API formats so that we can use it straightforward and provide the meaningful reports. As lots of data is involved, so there are lots of security standards we have described in this reports. Now we have initiated discussions with the states to roll out these things. We have proposed around three solutions in this document, depending upon the requirement of the village and their knowledge about the technology. They can choose anyone. We have left these decisions on the state to take it up, or which solution they wanted to deploy in their villages. Basic solution basically gives them liberty to deploy the sensors and connect with the IoT devices and provide the sensors regarding the quality, quantity, and the minimum requirement of the quality. Like we have proposed them to provide a chlorine sensor, so they can link these sensors with the IoT devices, and they can provide on our dashboard. Some of the dashboards, some of the IoT pilots are already active, which I'm going to discuss further. Integrated solutions describes about the flow sensors which are required at which locations, the quality parameters that the various sensors regarding the quality and the quality parameters. We have also proposed to have the tail end flow meters and the pressure sensors at the tail end or at the critical point, so that we can ensure that regularity, quality, and the quantity is ensured all over the village. Similarly, the third solution is advanced solutions, which mainly different from the intermittent solution in the way, like we are connecting all the households with the sensors of the flow, flow sensor and the quality sensors at the household level. See, this is the dashboard. It is though it is a previous dashboard. Now we have around 115 pilots active, and we are having we are reviewing on the real-time data that we are getting from the villages, how much water they are getting, what is the quality, and wherever we are on daily basis we are monitoring, and when we are finding it that quality is not good, we are contacting the concerned authorities and asking them to take the corrective actions to ensure the core objective of the Jal Jeevan mission. This is one of the the village level dashboard that we are also projecting at with the help of monitor at the village level, so that people can understand what is this IoT. So this is not only creating assistance to us by providing this data to us, but also creating awareness about the IoT and this quality, quantity, and regularity things at the ground level among the community. As you can see here, we can see almost for 20 days data that we are getting water supply, adequate water supply, and we are monitoring the chlorine at the household level, how much chlorine disinfection they are doing. So those things we are measuring. These quality and quantity parameters varying in village to village, as I said, depending upon their requirement. This is the national centralized platform which I was saying, like all these 6 lakhs villages and their sensors linked with the IoT devices will send the data to the centralized platform, where we will have our cloud and the the analytical engine to use this IoT data from the sensors and create the useful reports for the village level, the district level, the state level officials, and also to create the report for the central level. That means at the ministry level also. These reports will help all the officials at the different level to have a good understanding where they have to take action and to ensure quality, quantity, and regularity, the core objective of Jal Jeevan Mission. This is the same thing, just explaining the more into the IoT platform, the cloud, the analytical engines, the different aspects that we are going to use through this. Yes, an important thing of the centralized platform is we are going to have a vendor management system here. So wherever we will find the discrepancies, the alerts will be generated and we will send it to the concerned authorities in the state and the vendors, further to the vendors for taking the corrective actions. And till the corrective actions will not be taken, the alert will continue to be sent to the concerned authorities to have a monitoring on it. These are like a snapshot where we have started the rolling it out of this IoT based, sensor based IoT systems. At the present, we are working in 20 states and UTs. Some of the states are at the advanced stage. They have started deploying the sensors, like Bihar and Gujarat. They are working in the state, and they have started deploying the sensors and linking it with the IoT things and sending it to the central level, all those database. And some of them are at the RFP stage. They are preparing RFP, and some of them have floated their RFP. So those who are interested in working in this sector can contact them also. As I said, that the PMF is a tool where we can have a tracking on the fund released by the center and the real-time expenditure done by the state for the implementation. We can have an understanding on it. It also helps us, it provides a transparent system to monitor the expenditure and helps us in decision taking also, where we have to invest more and where we don't have to. This is just a framework of the PFMS. At the center level, we have IFD, program division, and the drawing and disbursing officers. At the center level, state level, though at the moment we have created an escrow account, in which we are transferring the fund, and the state is also transferring the state matching fund, and from there only we are releasing the fund to the state SPVs, district SPVs for the further expenditure and implementation of the schemes. As I said, that our aim and intent is to have an understanding and linking all the water related platforms together, which earlier also ma'am mentioned that to have a a common platform. So we are planning to connect our JGM platform at later stage with the water resource database, which will be mainly for central groundwater based database, because our water source in many schemes, in fact a good substantial percentage of the schemes are based on groundwater based schemes. So we are going to link with them so that we can ensure that regularity we can ensure, and we are going to link with the NCDC also, so that water related disease can be monitored. These are we have taken some initiatives to to take up these digital things and IoT things in our mission that I'm going to explain. We had one challenge, ICT Grand Challenge, in which we asked participants to develop IoT-based sensors system for monitoring water supply, uh, management. We deployed. Initially, we got around 218 entries, and we narrowed down to 4 finalists, and they deployed around 100 pilots, which I was explaining earlier, also in 9 states. And all these pilots are sending data now, today, and we are monitoring on regular basis. The result has been recently announced by Honorable Minister of Jal Shakti, Shri Gajendra Singh Ji, and we have started the process of handing over this IoT system to the Pani Samiti at the ground level, so that they are now familiar with they're getting familiar day by day with the IoT pilots at the ground level. We are also providing them trainings to build their capacities so that they can take it up to run it by their independently. Similarly, our sector partners, Tata Trust is also there. They have developed around 15 pilots in different 8 states, and they are also sending data to us, and we are regularly monitoring those also. They are also based on sensor-based IoT systems. One of the initiatives that we have taken up under the Jal Jeevan mission is the development of the portable device. Though we have already provided the FTKs, but we are also providing, we are encouraging industry players to develop the portable devices which can be linked through the SIM and and can be connected to the servers. They like some of the portable devices have developed under this initiatives are these. They can measure the color, that various quality parameters, and they send the data to to our dashboard, to WQMIS. So these are now commercially available, or if not, like they will come further soon. We are in process of it, and expecting the commercial availability so that people can easily test their water quality. So these are some of the devices that developed under the this initiative for drinking water quality testing. With this note, I would like to thank you for giving opportunity to deliver this digital initiative for under the Jal Jeevan mission that we have taken it up and presenting it here. I thank you.
Thank you, sir. We would now like to open the floor to questions. I request Mr. Ajay Nain from DOT to please read out any questions that may have come from the audience.
Ma'am, no questions. Dear participants, if you have any questions, please ask.
Okay. So
I have one. This is Dharmesh
yeah,
Tomar. I have one question. I have one question from Mr. Maninder. Like in
Yes, sir.
the target is 19 crore meters has to be maybe the pipe water has to be supplied. So water meter is also part of this package, or only the piped water has to be done?
Yes, water meter is part of it. In fact, some of the states are going for 100% metering. Like I would like to mention here that in Goa, they have already, the system is in place. They are doing 100% monitoring. All the houses are connected with meter, and they are getting regular bills. And similarly, Karnataka, they are planning to connect all the households. 100% households are going to be connected with meter, and either through this IoT things, mainly with the IoT, but they're planning some AMR meters also. So that way, and but it is dependent on the state to state, because as I said that this is a joint effort by the state and the center, depending upon the fund availability they are going for.
Okay, because
But at least one or two. But at least one or two, households are to be metered in every habitations. In each village there are 2 to 3 habitations, so around 18-19 lakhs habitations are there. So I can say.
okay, thank you. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Mohar. Any further questions? Okay. So thank you very much, sir.
Sorry,
Okay,
there
thank
is
you
one
very much,
question in the question time.
Okay. So thank you very much, sir. And now we would move to our